One more thing. The Mavs may be tanking now. Anthony Davis may be out for the season. Kyrie may not play. There are still some reasons to play the rest of the season. I'll tell you what they are. Today's Locked On Mavs. One more thing.
I'm not a doctor, so.
That's it. It's me versus the machine.
I don't know.
Satnam change.
Nice penetrating thrust to the middle.
Hot man, the hot player.
Wait. One more thing.
Fired up.
Yeah, you're still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for over 10 years. It's the One More Thing, a bonus episode of Locked On Mavs. If you missed the episode with Isaac and I talking about the rumors around Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, Klay Thompson, and others, go listen to that episode wherever you're listening or watching this. But today, I want to talk about something that I wanted to challenge myself because the Mavs are probably tanking. The season may not matter. So many people are asking me, like, how's the Mavs season going? Like, people that don't follow the NBA. And I'm just like, you know what? It's not great. Anthony Davis may be out for the year. That means Kyrie may not come back, but there are still reasons to play this season. And so I've got a bunch of them. I'm going to list a whole bunch of different things that I think are reasons to play the rest of the season, things to watch for, things that I'm going to be watching for throughout the rest of the season. So let's get into it. First one is obviously
pledge allegiance to the flag, man.
Cooper Flagg. The development of Cooper Flagg is the number one thing for this Maverick season. It has been since the beginning of the season. It continues to be. That does not change at all. Maybe the way that they do develop Cooper Flagg, maybe that changes. Maybe that is something that we watch out for and we see, all right, what is different when they don't have, a bunch of different role players. Obviously, guys have been in and out of the lineups all the time. Lively has barely played. PJ Washington has been in and out. Gafford has been in and out. But if Naji gets traded, if Gafford gets traded, obviously Anthony Davis out. Like, how does that affect Cooper Flagg's development? And if he is the main guy on the team, like if Anthony Davis doesn't play the rest of the season, Kyrie doesn't come back, which I'll touch on those two in a minute because those are still hypothetical what ifs. But if those guys don't come back, then this is Cooper Flagg's team. Full stop. Then he takes the reins. And I'm curious to see what a Cooper Flagg takes the reins team looks like. And it may look as rough for like team success wise as we've seen, but I think that gives Cooper Flagg the opportunity to run some offense with some less stressful situations. We get to see what he can do. We get to see how he interacts with teammates, how he looks taking the reins, taking that leadership role. I think it's his first year. He's 19. He's still playing with a bunch of guys that are a lot older than him, but I think that is something that I want to see from him. We also definitely want to see his three-point shot round into form. We've seen him as of late start to take more threes, start to be more confident in his three-point shot. He's got the wrap off of his thumb that's been off for a couple weeks now, and I think that his three-point shot has improved since then. We've seen him hit 3 threes in a game, 4 threes in a game. And his three-point shot is the number one thing for him going forward on the court that is going to elevate him to all-star, superstar level. He's shooting 28.5% from three so far this season. He's taken 133s in 38 games. And that is like 28% is just not good enough. Like that is, we don't defend you from that spot, percentage. That is, teams will continue to go under screens all the time, or go over under screens all the time because we don't respect that shot. And so then if they start guarding him that way, it changes the types of shots he can get to. It changes how he can get to his spots on the court. Now he's overcome that a lot this season. He's been able to find ways to get his own shot. The mid-range shot has been good for him. You step a little forward and you hit that shot if guys are going to drop back or whatever. But let's see him get more confident in that three-point shot. Take him. Let him fly, Cooper Flagg. Let him fly. If Kyrie does come back, then playing with Kyrie Irving, I think is going to be really big for him. Isaac has been huge on this. He keeps mentioning it over and over again. Slightly keeps mentioning it as well. Playing with Kyrie Irving will be really good for Cooper Flagg. The ball movement, the way that they can play together on the court, the pick and rolls they can do. Kyrie running a pick and roll with Cooper Flagg setting a screen. The opposite with Kyrie setting a screen. Kyrie's a really good off-the-ball player and has played off the ball against a guy like Cooper Flagg in LeBron James and Luka Doncic that have been high usage type players. And I think that is going to be just so important to his development. And so I want to see that. Cooper Flagg has a chance to improve his stats, and it wouldn't be very hard. I kind of want to put this in perspective, and we bring up these stats all the time. And the reason why I like these stats is because it just puts in perspective which players have ever averaged these things. So somebody goes, how many players have averaged 19 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists? And I always get the comment, that's such a cherry picked stat, blah, blah, blah. He is the only other players that have averaged this are these players. Like he is in rarefied air in this. It is it's a rare stat line for him to average these averages. And these are the players that we can compare it to. I'm not saying he's as good as these players, but only these players have averaged this. The only the rookies, the last 4 rookies to average 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, which is what Flagg is at right now, are Luka Doncic, Grant Hill, Michael Jordan, and Larry Bird. Those are the only ones to put together that combination. If I take it down, okay, it's cherry pick stats. All right, I take it down to 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Luka Doncic, Tyreek Evans was an interesting one. LeBron, Steve Francis, Allen Iverson, Grant Hill. Okay, it added a couple more. That's incredible. That's incredible company to be in outside of Tyreek Evans, which is just this random rare case of a guy that averaged like 25 and 5 that never was that good ever again. The Kings, what a weird season. The only rookies to average 25 and 5 though, Tyreek Evans is one of them. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and Cooper Flagg can get there very easily. For the rest of the season, let's say he plays 42 more games. There's 43. I'll give him a day off. He had to average 21 points and 5.7 assists for the rest of the season to get to 25 and 5. He'd have to maintain his rebounds. But can he average 21 points, 5.7 assists, and 6 rebounds the rest of the season? Like, absolutely. With the ball in his hands as much as he's had, the assist run he's been on lately, the assist may be tough for him to get there, but he's at 4.2, and for him to get to 5, it's such rarefied air to be in that. And so to get to 25 and 5, the reason why I bring that up is because, man, like, he's been so good. And if you look at synergy, some of the things that they rank are offensive play types, defensive play types. They have a ranking for each one of them. And the best one is excellent. Then there's very good. There's good. There's average, below average. Cooper Flagg is good on 3 of his 4 offensive categories that he plays. Pick and roll ball handler, he's been good. In transition, he's been good. Isolation, he's been good. As an isolation scorer, gets his own shot. Those are really tough spots to be in. The one that he's below average in is spot up shots. The spot up shooting, the 3-point shot, that's the thing that we've talked about a lot. But for him to be that good offensively already in those 3 categories, he's been so good this season. Defensively, he's average as defending spot ups, average defending the pick and roll ball handler, excellent defending in isolation, and very good defending a roll man in the pick and roll. For him to be that good on both sides of the ball already, this is why I'm so high on Cooper Flagg as a player going forward. Is not many players have ever averaged 19, 6, and 4. Not many players have been this good on offense and defense. And so the development of him going forward is the number one thing for the rest of this season. Absolutely. That's the number one thing. Coming up, if AD and Kyrie do come back, there is something to play for at the end of the season. I'll tell you what that is, I guess, coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook, all kinds of things that you can use to get in on the action. They have the NBA Happy Hour that comes every Friday. If you want to go take advantage of that and go see what you can do on FanDuel, there are all kinds of things to get in on the game. A limited time window where special offers drop right inside the FanDuel app before the action starts. So go see what is available there. You can go check out all kinds of the odds. We checked out the Cooper Flagg Rookie of the Year odds a bunch. He's just been a favorite for most of the season. So if you want to go see that one, you can. You can go see games. Well, the Mavs are a favorite against Cooper Flagg minus 1,000. Oh, he went up. It was minus 700 just the other day. So he's minus 1,000 now. Colin Knippel plus 950. BJ Edgecombe plus 2,500. The gap between Flagg and BJ Edgecombe is insane for Rookie of the Year. Cooper Flagg, far and away the favorite to win that award. So go check out on FanDuel. Check it out on Happy Hour. That is 5 to 6:30 Central Time on NBA Happy Hour. A little basketball, a little action, a whole lot of Friday energy. That's NBA Happy Hour only on FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Also brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use that code Locked On Mavs, Locked On NBA to get $20 off your first purchase. That's code Locked On NBA. You can use it on all kinds of things. I've used it on comedy, concerts, theater, sports. I've used it on a bunch of Dallas Wings games. You can use it for Mavs games as well, Cowboys games, whatever. When's the next time the Cowboys are going to play? Go check it out. You can see the view from your seat. You see exactly what you're going to pay at checkout, which I love. I hate when I get to the end and I go to my cart and it says, oh, here's $40 extra that you're going to have to pay. Stupid. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use this code LOCKEDONNBA, LOCKEDON NBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Get in on the action with Game Time.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
It's a One More Thing bonus episode of Locked On Mavs. Thanks for hanging out with us. Check the QR code for different ways to follow the show. We have the Everydayers Club, gets you access to ad-free shows and the Discord and the text line. We'll send you every single Mavs rumor that we hear, every alert. We'll give you thoughts during games. We'll also do Q&As. Isaac does those a bunch. And then you also get access to the Discord with the text line. So 2 different ways to subscribe to the show. Appreciate each and every one of you for checking that out. All right, let's talk about more reasons why you should play the rest of the season. All right, if AD only is out for like 6 weeks, he will come back at some point. There'll be like a month and a half left in the season, or even more so. Maybe 6 weeks left in the season. And Kyrie may be back. We may actually get to see. Oh, I can't say it. It's the word is banned on the show. I can't say the V word, but we may get to see the plan play out that Nico wanted with Kyrie and AD. We may actually get to see that at the end of the season. I doubt it. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could. So if there's reasons to play the rest of this season, one of them could be to actually see Kyrie and AD play together with Cooper Flagg. So many of you wanted to see that. I want to see it just to see what it looks like. I don't have high hopes that it's going to be this successful long-term pairing, but I do kind of want to see it, right? Like you're just kind of like curious. Trade value of guys. This is only going to last the next like 3 or 4 weeks or so. But Naji Marshall, Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, even throw Brandon Williams, maybe D'Angelo Russell in there. Like one of the reasons to play some of these games is for these guys to go out there, show other teams what you got, show them you can be of value to some other teams. And I think that that's something that we should absolutely look at and not scoff at as, hey, if the Mavs can drum up some interest in Naji Marshall, Klay Thompson, Daniel Gafford, we just did the show talking about all the rumors. And I think in the aggregate, if the Mavs can trade those 3 guys, Naji, Klay, Gafford, get financial flexibility for next season, get 2 first-round picks out of it in some way, like some aggregate way, that's a win. That's a win. You build up your first-round pick, list that you absolutely need. You need to get young guys around Flagg. You need to get some things that you can trade in the next couple of years to get win now players because you've now kicked your contention thing down the road. And so I think the trade value of guys, Brandon Williams, I would even throw in there. Like, can we get some Brandon Williams interest out there? I don't know what his status is for the Mavericks long-term or what other teams think about him. D'Angelo Russell, I don't think should be on the team next year if Jason Kidd is still going to be on the team, is still going to be coaching the team. And then I put this one, I don't know if I'm far enough into the show. Caleb Martin. Can we play some Caleb Martin just for confidence for next season? It would be great if Caleb Martin, who has been pretty good lately, like it's been okay lately, can we build up some confidence in Caleb Martin so that next season he's a rotation player? Because I think that's something that is worth it because that contract is, if he's not an NBA player like he was the first 20, 25 games of the season, 30 games of the season, then that is a terrible contract. But if he's a decent NBA player, then maybe by next season you drum up some interest in him. He's maybe a viable rotation player. Team sends you a couple seconds or something for him, and that's not nothing. Development of the rest of the guys, I think, is the rest of the reason to play the rest of this season. Things that we'll be watching. Obviously, Cooper Flagg's development. Talked all about that. Max Christie is a player. He's 22 years old. He's as young as some of these rookies in the NBA. Younger than some of the rookies in the NBA. He's been awesome this year in terms of hitting 3-point shots, the corner 3, and the Mavs have asked a little bit more of him each week, 2 weeks, month, whatever. Last 6 games, 17 points a game, 2.8 assists, 1.3 turnovers, so half, which is great. Half the turnovers for 2 assists, which is a great ratio there. 45% from 3, which is maintained, but he's at 6.7 3-point attempts per game, which is awesome. He's upped that. The coaching staff asked him to take more threes. He's been taking more threes. That's been great to see. And also 65% on 2s. He's taking about 5 2s a game too. Max Christie putting the ball on the deck, taking more threes, being more of a guy that can be trusted to be a secondary, tertiary playmaker on the ball. He's not just a spot up guy. He can put the ball on the floor. He can drive. He can finish. He can be a threat in those different ways. Like that kind of guy next to Flagg, maybe another star that they get in the draft, or even just Flagg and Kyrie, is just invaluable. It's just a player that you just need going forward. All these teams need this. Look at Christian Brown for the Nuggets. You need somebody like that can just do a little bit extra. Handling the ball, doing those things. Imagine if the Mavs had that guy. Imagine if the Mavs had Max Christie playing like this on the finals team, right? We kept saying, man, if they only had Quentin Grimes on that team, if they only had just like one more guy to handle the ball at some point, maybe that would have been completely different. But if they just had Dinwiddie, right? If they only had one more shooter in Klay Thompson. Well, here you go. Here's a guy that can put the ball on the deck a little bit and can definitely shoot the ball. He's been absolutely excellent shooting the ball. Ryan Nembhard's development is an interesting one too. I think he's got a ceiling because of the height, but he's shown so much so far. And he's been pretty good. He's played 26 games so far, 17 starts. The Mavs are working on some kind of way to get him onto a standard contract. And so I don't think we have to worry about that. It's in the works. There's the rumor from Mark Stein today that the Mavs aren't in a rush to waive Dante Exum because they want to figure out if there's a trade to figure out Ryan Nembhard. If they're that far down the road, they've already figured out some kind of way that they're going to make Ryan Nembhard a standard contract. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. The shooting confidence for Ryan Nembhard has got to increase though. He's making, this is a crazy weird stat that StatHead probably looked at this, like Basketball Reference has this tool called StatHead where I look up all these weird stats where it's like how many players have done this, this, and this, like I did for Cooper Flagg earlier. And they probably looked at this and was like, what is going on? What is this guy doing? Ryan Nembhard is shooting 39% from three. He's only taking 2.5 per game. He's playing 20 minutes. The only players this season that are shooting 39% or more on less than 2.5 attempts at playing at least 20 minutes, Spencer Jones, who's like, think of Josh Green a couple years ago for the Mavs on the Nuggets, who he looks exactly like Josh Green too, which is hilarious. But Spencer Jones, Giannis, and Andre Drummond, those are the only players shooting that well from three and taking that little attempts. So he's shooting well. He's only taking the ones that are wide open, but teams have got to think of him as a threat, both in the mid-range and in the three-point line for him to be any kind of threat across the floor. And so I think that's something he's got to figure out is to let's give him a bunch of games where he just plays and there's low stakes and he can take a bunch of shots and figure that out. Speaking of low stakes, he's got to figure out how he competes on defense. This is another weird stat that I was looking through. In your first 26 games, if you played 500 or more minutes, which is what Ryan Nembhard has played, he's played over 500 minutes in his first 26 games. There has not been a player since 1973 with less than 7 stocks. So steals plus blocks. Ryan Nembhard has 6 steals and 0 blocks in his first 26 games. No player since 1973 has had that little stocks. Some of it is luck, getting steals, getting blocks, being in the right position. Maybe you just catch a ball out of the air. Some of that is luck for sure. But for it to be that low and no player since 1973, I think is telling. He's just not present defensively sometimes. Or he's there and teams just don't even care. So he's got to figure out how he competes on defense. I don't think it's all about getting stocks, like getting blocks and steals. But I think that stat, I looked at it and I was like, not since 1973 has there been a guy to get less than 7 stocks in their first 26 games, playing that many minutes. It's kind of nuts. And so he's got to figure out how he competes. JJ Barea figured out how he can compete. Jalen Brunson figured out how he can compete. Jalen Brunson's obviously a little bit bigger than Nembhard. But there are guys out there that have figured it out. Isaiah Thomas. Moussa Cisse has figured out how he can compete on defense. And I'd like to see him a little bit going forward, how he can get more comfortable offensively, how he can find a role offensively, be more of a rebounder. Players that have had 23 or more blocks in their first 21 games, which is what Cisse has had. He's got 23 blocks, played 23 games. Donovan Clingan, Zach Edey, Alex Sarr, Chet Holmgren, Dereck Lively, Ausar Thompson, Victor Wembanyama, Walker Kessler, Evan Mobley. Like, those are really good pretty good rim protectors. And Moussa Cisse is in those ranks in his first 21 games. So I'd like to see a little bit more of him, obviously. They said that stat on the broadcast, he only has like 16 more active games left. And so that's the one that I think we may not see much more of him throughout the rest of the season, because if he's only got that many games left, the Mavs aren't going to figure out another standard contract unless they do a 2-for-1 trade or something like that. The last one is Miles Kelly. We just saw him briefly in the last game. I don't think he's been active as much as Cisse has been, but he's a lights out shooter. He is crushing it in the G League right now, taking a ton of threes, hitting a bunch of threes, averaging like 20 points. And I would just like to see him out there because Mavs need another shooter. He's got to figure out how he competes on defense because he's supposed to be a 3-and-D guy. And he did not look good the other night defensively, but neither did any of the Mavericks. And so I'm curious to see how he figures that out. Because if he can be a 3-and-D guy, he could be like a Danny Green type player, I think. And the Mavs could really, really use somebody like that. A guy like that coming off the bench next season would be great. And so I think the development of those guys, Max Christie, Nembhard, seeing the rest of Moussa Cisse's contract, and then Miles Kelly, that's another reason to play the rest of the season, is to figure out what the Mavs have in those guys, because I think all those guys can have a role. Max Christie, starter on a playoff team, absolutely. Ryan Nembhard, guy coming off the bench that gives you 15, 18, 20 minutes, what TJ McConnell was for the Pacers, where he comes in and all of a sudden just a complete change of pace guy, and you go, wait, all of a sudden you completely change what we're doing? Ryan Nembhard can be that for sure. Miles Kelly could be an off the bench 3-and-D guy if he can figure out defensively. Yeah, absolutely. So I think all those guys have some kind of role in the NBA that they can figure out. Can the Mavs be the team that they figure that out on? Yeah, we'll see that the rest of the season, and I want to see more of those guys going forward. There you go. Hopefully I gave you enough reason to watch the rest of these games, because I'm going to keep doing these post-game shows. Slightly and I are going to be on here. We're going to keep doing them. And so you guys keep subscribing if you're listening to this, and we'll be here for the rest of the season. Subscribe to the text line, subscribe to the Everydayers Club. There's 2 different ways to support the show. The QR code, the links in the description are different ways you can do that. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs.
Peace out.